Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world right now. My name is Will Faulkner. I'm a photographer based in Melbourne, Australia. First of all, thank you very much to my recent subscribers. I'll put your names up on screen now. Apologies for not uploading a video for some time now. I've been busy with client work and portfolio work and Christmas as well. So it's been a busy period. I had a job just in December that took up a fair bit of time. Then Christmas came around and then there was some portfolio work. Also, I've been studying. Let me grab something for you real quick. What is this? This is a perspective cube, or it's a homemade perspective cube. I plan to make a better one in the future. But what this is you set this in the frame after you've photographed your product. You photograph the same frame without moving the camera or the tripod, and you photograph this, and then you can use that to set the perspective of the camera when using CGI software such as Blender. So going back to what I was talking about before, I've been studying, in particular I've been studying Blender, CGI. Now, why am I doing that? Because it's not only my suspicion, but confirmed by the likes of Carl Taylor, who's a professional photographer in the UK. He confirmed what I already thought, that CGI is overtaking photography. It is the way of the future, and those photographers who do not embrace change will certainly become extinct. We saw this with film photography and various other formats. So what I'm trying to do is upskill in CGI, and what I like the idea of, or the pathway of, is photographing a product. Let's say the product is made by the company here in Melbourne, and they say, here, can you photograph this product and create a set behind it? Traditionally, you'd have to go out and buy the wood and paint the wood and get the matching paint, and I've done all that before. That's fine, and it's a lot of fun. It's completely fine to do that, and it's actually more enjoyable to do that, but it's not always practical. So if I can upskill my knowledge enough and get fast enough in Blender, you can create sets behind your products. And I'll put up on screen a couple of shots I've done for my own portfolio with this technique in mind. Now, it's up to you guys in the photography world how you want to view CGI. I really am chasing realistic CGI and combining that with actual studio photography that I do either on site for the client, as I did for the most recent job, or in my little home studio here. And I think it has enormous potential, but you've got to, or I've got to, get good enough at CGI where the consumer cannot tell the difference, where that set that I've built with the light coming through, the quality of the light looks exactly the same as what I would have created building a set and using studio lighting. Moving on, today I had an interesting shoot of photographing some chocolate. Now, I try to do one good photograph per week for my portfolio, one test shoot per week, and I was doing one per day, and that was really hard work, particularly because I manage my infant child during the day, so I can only work from 3 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. 6 days a week, and I have Sundays pretty much to myself, or at least half of the Sunday to myself for shooting. So today is Sunday, and it was my day to shoot, and I've been struggling for inspiration, particularly because I try to keep my test shoots under $10 spend per shoot, and that's harder to do than you would think. Now, I've got all these ideas, but they require more capital investment, and at this particular point in time I have to be very careful about capital investment for test shooting or portfolio work. So what I thought I would do is just go into the supermarket and buy a block of chocolate and try to make this block of chocolate look good. Now, I thought about doing melting chocolate and upside down, where the chocolate is dripping, that I flip the image upside down and have the drip coming up, and I don't know, it didn't sit well. I thought you're pushing too hard. You're trying to create a diamond from dirt, if I can use that analogy. So I thought, just treat the chocolate with respect and look at it in the best quality of light and see what it looks like. And what I came up with was 3 shots, just a basic packaging shot, and I'll put these shots on screen now. A basic packaging shot, just as a kind of a cover shot, and then 2 other shots. One was a macro shot that was focus stacked all the way through and then retouched by my fantastic retoucher Alonia. Shout out to Alonia if you're watching. And then the last one was a action shot of dropping the cubes of chocolate into the milk. And that action shot, because I don't have a shutter release mechanism such as a MyOps trigger, which I plan to buy, I had to do it manually. So that's using a remote and then dropping the chocolate and trying to time them together. That is harder than you think. I think this particular one took about 30 shots, and it took so many that I had to refill the milk bath. And because I'm on a budget, I actually filtered the milk out, filtered out all the little drops of specks of chocolate out of the milk, put it back in the milk bath and try it again, because I'm such a tight ass with money right now. But eventually I got the shot. So yeah, that shot should be up on screen now for you guys. And that kind of work just sits on my portfolio, and I can use that for what's called treatments. So when a client says to me, hey, here's a brief, we want you to bid on the brief, you can give them a treatment, and the treatment it sort of says, look, here's when I'm available, here's some images that I think are in the style of the image that I want to present for you for this kind of job, and I can grab these from my portfolio or from my hard drive and put them in the treatment and give them to the client. So having images like this in stock in my library is important for the kind of work that I do. Now I'm going to put up on screen the photographers that I'm following right now. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.